Hi, I'm Laura Rice. I'm Director of the Dearborn STEP Assessment Program. We have a lot of questions about how the program is able to kind of help students move forward. And so we have a number of components, the academic and the clinical, and I'd like to focus on the clinical. STEP has a very high clinical ratio to students. We have 2 licensed clinicians and we utilize clinical interns in their last year of school. So we have a lot of resources for students to be able to utilize when they're feeling uncomfortable, when they're feeling stressed, when they're feeling they need to talk to someone. So we have a lot of resources. The other thing we have is we have a psychiatrist that is here twice a week. She's been with the program for over 10 years. She's wonderful. But she sits in the classes, she does observations, and she meets with the students. And then she speaks with parents and guardians just to get some clarity on, like, this is what I see, this is what I think, how would you like me to be helpful? And I think that's our theme all the time at STEP, like, how can we be helpful? Ultimately, parents and guardians are really in charge of where their students go from point A to point B, so keeping them in the loop, especially around the clinical component, is really important to make sure that parents say, oh yeah, that's what we saw, that's my question, and we weren't really sure. And so they might say, oh, can your psychiatrist talk to our psychiatrist to give more clarity? Or maybe it's something that's brand new that parents and the student have been thinking about but aren't really sure. And so we're able to do a med trial here to be able to define, like, hey, this is working. And because we're with them all the time, we're really able to give good feedback to either the student psychiatrist or our psychiatrists and parents to define, like, this looks like it's working, does it feel like it's working at home? And then the other part of the clinical piece is we run 3 clinical groups. They're really kind of theme-based. So it's about relationship building, conflict resolution, how to be able to express yourself so people understand what you're saying, and if you make an error, how to be able to say, oh, wait a minute, let me try that again. And those are really important. I think even as adults, we're always trying to figure out how to do that. And so we're really incorporating that into the clinical piece at STEP for students. So they have an opportunity, they have a forum that we're bringing out some guidelines, asking them how they want to incorporate that, and really practicing different pieces. And so the clinical component will also meet with students scheduled 1 time per week. If they need more time, we can definitely accommodate that. That clinician then speaks with parents or guardians at a scheduled time once a week. And so it's really incorporating everybody into the process. It's just not like, oh, STEP knows what they're doing. It's really STEP is working with parents, with guardians, with districts, with outside providers to, again, define what will help this student the most. When our assessment is sent out to districts and parents and guardians, we want that assessment to really reflect, this is what this kid needs, this is how it works, and this is why it's important for this student. And so the clinical component is significant in that, as well as the academic component.